Good day everyone, let's start our topic with the story problem, Share It. 3 siblings shared 1,800 in the ratio of 2:3:4. How much will each one receive? Now this problem is an example of partitive proportion. Partitive proportion is a whole is divided into parts proportional to the given ratio. Now what does it mean? Now let's analyze the problem. Now this 1,800 in total will be divided to her 3 siblings in the ratio of 2:3:4. And the numbers in the ratio given corresponds to the number of parts the whole is divided into. Now let's visualize it here. Now these 2 parts, this 2 here is 2 parts of the whole. And this 3 here is 3 parts of the whole, and the 4 here is the 4 parts of the whole. And that whole is a total of 1,800. Now each of the part here is equal, okay? So each of the part here in each box is equal to all of the parts. Now to know the value of each term, so this one is the term, this 2, 3, and 4 are terms. We need to know first the value of each part. Now, what are the steps? So, we have here the steps in solving partitive proportions. Now, what we're gonna do is to add the terms in the ratio. So, we add here, these are the terms. We have here 2 plus 3 plus 4. And that is equal to 9. Next is divide the total value by the sum of the terms of the ratio. And the total value here is 1,800, right? And we divide it to the sum of the terms of the ratio. So we divide 1,800 divided by 9. We have here 2. This is 18. Okay, and there are 2 zeros. We add 2 zeros here. Therefore, our answer here in step 2 is 200. That means each part is equal to 200. But this is still not the final answer, since the question here is the value of each term in the ratio. So let's proceed to step 3, which is multiply the quotient to each term in the ratio. So the quotient is 200. We're going to multiply it to each term. So the first child will receive. So we're going to multiply this 2 times the quotient, which is 200. Okay, and first child or the first sibling will receive 400 pesos, and the second would be 3 times 2 is equal to 600, and the third child is 4 times 200. We have here 800 pesos. Now, to check if our answer is correct, all we need to do is to add this, and this should be equal to 1,800 pesos. So we have 0, 0 for 14 plus 8. We have, yes, so it's correct. Okay, so how much will each one receive? So the first sibling will receive 400 pesos, the second sibling will receive 600 pesos, and the third sibling is 800 pesos. Let's have more examples. We have partition each quantity into specified ratio. We have 150 in the ratio of 1:2. Now we are asked to divide 150 in the ratio of 1:2. Now let's visualize it here. We have 1, that is 1 part of the whole, and 2 here is 2 parts of the whole, and that whole is 150. So what we're gonna do here following the steps is first, you need to add the terms in the ratio. So we have here 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Then after that, we divide the total or the value to the sum of the terms in the ratio. So we have here 150 divided by 3, that is 5, that is 15, Okay, and then 0, and we have here 0. Each part here is 50. Okay, and for the answer in each term, we have here 1 times 50, that is 50, and 2 times 50, we have 100. So this is our answer. Next example. The ratio of sunflower to santan to rose in the garden is 3:4:5. If there are 360 flowers in the garden, how many santan are there? So take note that the total flowers is 360, and the ratio of sunflower, which is 3, to the santan, which is 4 parts, and to the rose, which is 5 parts. But the question here is only the santan. So how many santan are there? So to visualize this, we need to create this model. So we have here 3 parts for the sunflower, 4 parts for the santan, and 5 parts for the rose. Even if the question is the santan only, but we need to get the value of each part. And the total is 360 flowers. So what we're gonna do for our step 1, we add the terms in the ratio. We have here 3 plus 4 plus 5. So we have 7 plus 5, that is 12. And then the second step would be divide the total to the sum of the terms in the ratio. So we have here 30. Okay, and this is 36. Okay, there's 0, then add 0. So each part here is 30. We have here 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. Okay, so let's add 30. Then, how many santan are there? And we know that santan has 4 parts. It's in the middle. So what we're gonna do is we multiply 4 times 30. And our answer is 120 santan. Is the answer. And if you want to also check how many sunflower are there, so you just have to multiply this 3 times 30, which is 90 sunflowers. And for the rose, we have here 5 times 30 is 150 roses. But our final answer here is 120 santan, because the question is just only the number of santan in the garden. But if you want to check if your answer is correct, you can add 120 plus 90 plus 150. You should be able to get 360 flowers. Next, a 6-meter piece of string will be cut in the ratio 3:4:5. What is the length of the largest piece? So again, this is an example of partitive proportion because a total will be cut in the ratio of 3:4:5, and the question here is the largest piece only. But even if the question is only asked for this term, which is the largest piece, okay, we still need to find for the value of each part. So we have here 3 parts of the whole, 4 parts of the whole, and 5 parts of the whole, which is a total of 6 meters. And for our steps, first step is we add again 3 plus 4 plus 5. We have here 12. Then divide the total, which is 6. Though this 6 is smaller, or the dividend is smaller than the divisor, it's okay. We just have to add decimal point and 0. So we divide 60, divide 12, that is 5. Okay, and then this is 60. So each part here is 0.5. Okay, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 5.5. And the question here is the length of the largest piece. All we need to do is to find for the value of this largest piece. So we just have to multiply 5 times 0.5. We have here, when you multiply 5 times 0.5, you will get 2.5. So our answer here is the length of the largest piece is 2.5 meters. You may not solve this, the value of this term and this term, since this is not what is asked. But for for checking, we can write here, since this one is 2.5 meters, so this one is 2 meters, and this one is 1.5. So if you're gonna add these three values, you'll be able to get 6 meters in total. So our answer here is correct. Next example, Mrs. Chua allotted 6,000 pesos to her 3 children's school projects. This amount is to be divided according to the ratio 1:2:3. How much will each child receive? So this example is almost the same as the previous example or the first example that we have. And this one is an example of partitive proportion because the whole is divided into parts proportional to the given ratio. Now, let's visualize first. So 1 parts of the whole, 2 parts of the whole, and this one is 3 parts of the whole, which is a total of 6,000 pesos. Then we add this 3 terms. We have 1 plus 2 plus 3. We have here 6, and divide the total to the sum of the terms. So we have here 1. So let's just write 1,000. Okay, so this 1,000 pesos is the value of each part. Okay, this is not still the answer of what is asked, how much will each child receive. So each child will receive, so we multiply 1 times 1,000. So the first child will receive 1,000 pesos. Okay, and the second child will receive 2 times 1,000. We have here 2,000. And the third child will receive 3,000 pesos. Okay, and to check if your answers are correct, so we have 1,000 plus 2,000 plus 3,000. It's correct. We have here 6,000 pesos in total. So this is our answer. Last example, 480 pesos was divided in the ratio of 3:5 between 2 girls. How much did each one receive? So we need to find for the value of these 2 terms. So we have here 3 parts of the whole and 5 parts of the whole, a total of 480 pesos. And again, this is an example of partitive proportion because the whole is divided into the given ratio. So we have here 3 plus 5 is 8. Then you divide 480 divided by 8. So we have here 6, 448, and then 0, and then that is 60. Okay, so each part here is 60. But this is not the answer yet because all we need to do is to multiply the quotient to each term. So we have 3 times 60. We have here 180. And the other one is 5 times 60 is 300 pesos. So each girl will receive 180 pesos. Just rewrite it. And the other one is 300 pesos. And it's a total of 480 pesos. So that's about partitive proportion. So do not get confused how to solve partitive proportion and how to identify if the problem is a partitive proportion. All you need to remember that a whole is divided into parts proportional to the given ratio. And the steps are, you add the terms in the ratio. Next is to divide the value or the total value to the sum of the terms of the ratio. And then multiply each term to the quotient you get in number 2.